So none of that audio got recorded when I was talking about what just happened. So that sucks. That sucks a lot. uh, I was planning to do a voiceover of the other stuff anyway, so maybe I'll just do a voiceover of this stuff too, as long as I remember. And if I don't remember, then this will be a reminder that I was trying to do surprise attack, but I don't know when I'm going to have surprise attack. This is how I know if it's worked. I have to come in here and then zoom through this, which I only even thought to do because it was something in previous Baldur's Gate games and in Icewind Dale games and Neverwinter Nights. So here, looking at this equation here on the bottom indicates this silly buggers down there, which is supposed to mean something. That seems to be my surprise attack damage. The second half of the damage roll after the star. So that indicates that I'm able to use my surprise attack damage with my short sword, but that does not appear on the rapier. Is that because I'm two-weapon fighting? Because the ability does not say that. And in previous versions of Dungeons & Dragons, of course, because it's supposed to be based on 5th edition, different weapons were required for that surprise attack damage. Weapons with certain properties or from a certain list. So is the rapier not on that list? I don't know. Because the rapier's a finesse weapon. Does it not have a light designation, and the light designation is necessary for sneak attack damage? Because it doesn't say that. Also, the way that the damage seems to be calculated for the sneak attack is probably based on the weapon, but the way that it's worded here doesn't indicate that. I would just say it does an additional D6 piercing damage, or it does an additional D6 damage of the type of the weapon used, or something like that. Like, just tell them that it's additional damage, because it's not necessarily. Is it a special attack? Because if it's a special attack, the way that they have it worded here, then my offhand attack doesn't count for it. I still seem to have an offhand attack because I'm two-weapon fighting. Let's see if that works. Yeah, that did work. That should not have worked because I just used 2 attacks. I got an additional attack as another bonus action somehow, which seems to be what people think two-weapon fighting in 5th edition is. They don't know that you need to use a bonus action to make the second attack. They think that they can use their bonus action to use something else, and that their basic attack is an attack with both of their weapons because they have a weapon in either hand, which has never been the case. You could choose to do that in 3rd edition by taking huge penalties, but to my knowledge, there's never been you can't do that in Pathfinder either, because Pathfinder is just 3rd edition basically. And in Pathfinder 2, there's numbers of actions that you can take to do different things, and I assume that two-weapon fighting probably isn't any different than taking 2 melee attacks with a melee weapon. If it's, light and capable of doing that, although I haven't played it yet, and I'm very much like to. But anyway, it's just another example of weird shit going on in this game that I'm finding difficult to follow. Let's see if anything more comes up here in my turn. I have no power over the archer provoking attacks of opportunity from literally everybody. They can live their life, I guess. If they are wrong. Oh! Well, I can only be so mad if they're going to crit the ward to death. Okay, now the Superstar, a 5th edition spellcaster. 5th edition spellcasters are all fucking over the place, and the higher level you get, the more powerful they become. So, are we in a situation where we can do the True Strike Witch Bolt combo, which is one of my favorites in 5th edition. We're not in range of anybody worthy, I don't think. If we can count on the Cleric keeping back this asshole, we might want to do it to this guy. It's only a D12 though, because you don't add your attack modifiers, right? You don't add your casting modifiers in 5th edition, which is stupid, because it means that a crossbow is more effective than fucking Eldritch Bolt, or Eldritch Blast, I should say, for 5th edition. But what do I know besides fucking every damn thing in the world? So it might not be worth it to take up the it won't be worth it to take up the action because it's 2 standard actions to pull that combo off under the current circumstances. Because this guy's only got 9 health anyway. Even though, you could roll a 1 to an 8 and not even kill him, even if you hit. And I don't know if you're supposed to be able to add damage to spells, even with attacks if you crit with a crit roll on an attack. Of course, I would. I would have that happen because I think 5th edition's a little... I think that 5th edition has a tendency to try to take away in certain situations from the game itself. Like the things that would make the game more interesting, it's like, no, we don't do it that way because... And I'm like, I think you should generally err on making the game more interesting or more exciting. Although that might also indicate more complicated. But you're talking about a spellcaster, for fuck's sake. They didn't want the game to be complicated. They shouldn't have played a fucking 5th edition spellcaster because they went back in time and made the spellcasting fucking ludicrous again. This slows him and he's far away. And has defense. So that's a review. I have no spells that are bonus actions except... Wait. Yeah, I still have a bonus action left, and... Yeah, I have no bonus action spells at all. Did I do that on purpose? Or did I not have any to choose from because of the type that I chose? I don't actually remember. But that is something that you might want to consider with shit like this. He's not bad enough yet, bad off enough yet that he needs to take a healing potion or anything. Action surge. Ow! Watch the natural 20s on the PC, please. It's bad enough that I didn't realize I was going to take falling damage jumping down here to initiate this horseshit. Yeah, see, positioning not being important in this game is not what this engine was built for. And it's pretty obvious when they do stuff like that. Not that I'm complaining. Not that I'm complaining. I always thought the positioning was taken way too seriously in Divinity games. Not that that's a mark against them. I love the Divinity games. I think they're fucking awesome. And I think that a lot of game developers have got a lot to learn from the way that they thought about things. But I'm starting to think that includes Larian Studios because some of this didn't mesh very well. Another example here is that my Gith friend has got a magic spear that is magic. It doesn't. There's no enchantment bonus on it or anything. It's just magic. I don't know what the fuck it's supposed to do. And it seems like it's a story item that happens fairly early in the game, so it's obviously a thing. Am I concentrating on anything? How do I know? Yes, I am concentrating on the guidance that I put on the currently prone Gith. Oh, that's life, I guess. So this guy is prone and laying down there and slowed. I'm targeting this asshole. Difficult terrain, ray of frost, prone. Yeah, he's fucked. That guy's toast. So we could just come over here. Is it worth dealing with melee? I've been thinking about doing mirror image, but I'm starting to think that this battle's... I mean, even though I've made a pig's ear of it, we're going to get through this battle so quickly, it's not going to matter. So it probably isn't worth doing the defensive shit. Charm Person's not the powerhouse I was expecting it to be, because I was expecting to use it outside of combat, and perhaps I can, but I have it on 3 characters, because I thought I could power down attackers and make. I assumed I'd be able to end encounters early by making them non-hostile and fuck it off. And apparently that's not a thing, because it just means that the person you cast it on can't attack you. Anyway, I can't do anything that's going to be concentration. And I'm going to make a melee attack on somebody with a bow. So I should probably do that. Especially if we're going to roll a natural 20 and smash his brains down into his boots. Which was not what I expected. So I'll leave him there. That's nice. Oh no, he's wasted a lot of movement. Oh wow. He has 2. I slowed a spellcaster, so that actually was not the brilliant move I thought it was. Let's see. I checked for bonus actions earlier. I didn't have any. So we're gonna get our 2d6 on this asshole here, probably. I always want to try to revivify, but the main character is not dead. And I do not know if I can or how to administer a potion. I suspect I would have to be next to them. But there's a whole thing that the game goes through. I don't know if it would take an action or not, but I can attempt to move the potions over to the fighter. And it doesn't look like that's used up my bonus action. And then I can, let's see, drop, add to hotbar, add to wares, send to camp. So I think I should click on it, and then Divinity Games, it's like, who do you want to activate this on? Even if you can only use it on yourself, and then you have to click on yourself. So I won't even know if I've clicked on it, whether or not cannot reach destination. See, so I could use the potion. In fact, I did use the potion on myself. It did not do that. So I did have damage because I leapt off the thing, so that's maybe fine. And I guess I'm clicking the continue button and rolling a death save. Because that's life. Anyway, so there's a lot of stuff too that I just feel like it's early access, sure, and I'm sure that a lot of this is going to change or be fixed or be done in a way that's improving things, and that what I'm adding to this doesn't even matter. But the reason why I think it might be worth talking about is the fact that it seems perfectly clear to me that a lot of this shit was already dealt with better in the previous Larian Studios games. So it seems weird to me that there's suddenly a problem now in the Dungeons and Dragons one. Why would that be the case? Why do I not know what's going on down here with this shit? The way that they had it set up in the other games was awesome, right? So why this? Why this? Why do I need to be confused by the situation? I just don't know. And then positioning for rogue sneak attack. I feel like there needs to be, like, it was so good in the other games, but I realized that the other games it was positioning. I understand that, and that positioning is not an option the way that they're doing the 5th edition rule set, and that in 5th edition, I mean, flanking isn't even a thing in 5th edition technically. It's an extremely popular house rule that people in 5th edition get advantage from flanking, and I love it. Because even though everybody goes, oh no, you know, this, all the old schoolers are like, no, it gives the players too much to give the players advantage if they flank. Yeah, but most of the players that play this game aren't paying attention or are idiots, and I'm the dungeon master, and I've got thousands of minions on the table, and I'll flank the shit out of them. So if they don't learn to flank, they die. You know, if they get flanked, they're gonna eat shit. So yeah, if they flank, it's awesome. And they better do it, and they better not get flanked themselves. And I think that should be the way that the game is played, at least at lower levels, because at lower levels, 5th edition especially, is very, I mean, they will kill you. They will kill you. You know, Lost Mine of Phandelver is notorious for TPKs and shit. Do it. Fuck them. And if they learn the rules and they can use them to their advantage because they get good, then reward them for that. But over here, I don't know what the fuck is happening. Do I have advantage of that? I can't talk to the Dungeon Master, right? I can't be like, hey, Dungeon Master, what's our house rule, if there is any, for flanking somebody? Because I'm playing the rogue. I gotta know this shit. No clue. I don't know when I can use it. So if when I click on the button, I'm not even talking about changing anything or making it automatic like it was in the old ones. If I click on the button and an indicator shows up the way that the indicator showed up when you were going to be able to get behind somebody to do sneak attack damage with your sneak attack power in Divinity Original Sin and Original Sin 2, that would be fucking awesome. That would be a huge improvement, because I'd know if it was going to work or not. And I have no idea if it's going to work or not when I'm 2-weapon fighting, and I don't even know how many attacks I get. I seem to get 3. Should I get 3? I mean, 2 of them are with a dagger, so, well, a short sword in this case, which is actually D6 plus modifier damage, so that's D6 plus 3 damage. I'm doing more damage than the damn Gith is. That's not true, because that's 2d6 plus 4 because of the feat that I had her take. No, I had her take toughness. It's 2d6 plus 3. Whereas I'm doing d6 plus 3 twice, and d8 plus 3 once, and possibly sneak attack damage. Yeah, I'm doing much more damage, assuming I hit. Right? Very rogue thing, which is fine. But I don't know if I'm going to get it or not. And that's probably everything I have to say for now. Maybe I'll record the rest of this battle just so that I have footage. Where was I? Yes, the wizard. The wizard. Well, we seem to be relatively safe, all things considered, although this asshole, I mean, I could do something about him. It's not very wizardy, but nobody's close enough together to take advantage of a lot of my more powerful spells. Might even just be better off giving him the old standby. He's only got 1 hit point. Do I got a magic missile? Magic missiling. He's got 1 hit point. Because it automatically hits. I don't have to worry about missing it. Doesn't matter how much damage it does. He just straight up dies. I don't have magic missile? I was sure that I made sure that he snagged magic missile. Did I not save the change I made to his spell list? I must have, because I have True Strike and Witch Bolt. And Grease and Burning Hands, and I did that on my own. I don't even know if Grease burns in this, the way that they did it. You'd think that they would. Using Grease as an accelerant for starting fires has been a thing in D&D for a long time. And it's a huge Larian Studios thing. So you'd think it would be a thing in this game. It doesn't say that it is. But I seem to recall trying to make it work earlier and not having it work, but there's also a trap in a temple that seems to work on that same concept. And they called it Grease and then ignited it with fire, I think. With a firebolt, I think. So, if that's true, I mean, I just don't know. It seems like a pain in the ass to use up a spell. It says 100%, so I'll just kill him. In order to make sure that he dies. And then the bonus action is a waste. Because the thing is, the other thing too, this game, I don't know how else you'd do it. You'd have to do it so that they had to do the other thing first. And there are some things that are done that way, which are annoying, and we'll get to that. Although the character I would like to show you with is unconscious currently, or is dying. But the thing is, yeah, because you're unconscious and dying in 5th edition when you hit 0. This character does not seem to be unconscious. She's writhing around all over the place. This is unconscious. She's definitely dying. Anyway, your bonus action in 5th edition, rules as written, doesn't exist. You don't have a bonus action. It's not a minor action or a swift action like in other versions and or other games. Instead, you have a bonus action if there's something that gives you a bonus action when you use it. And you can do something that gives you a bonus action that you take in order to use it once per turn. But you aren't guaranteed to have a bonus action. You don't get to use your bonus action to do something. You use an ability that requires a bonus action. It uses up the bonus action, and then you don't get another thing that uses up the bonus action. It doesn't work very well. Mike Miles does a much better job of explaining it, and then explains why he hates it, because it was a bad idea. And the action economy in the LAMP edition, my version of Dungeons & Dragons, works way better. And would probably make a better video game, too, because it's closer to 4th edition, and 4th edition is practically a video game in and of itself. It's badass. 5th edition is extremely popular for good reason, but I'm not sure that they have handled, and again, early access, they could address all of these things and make it perfect. But Larian also seems to be a kind of Dark Souls-esque game company, right? Like they're very old school D&D. In fact, I remember thinking that my first playthrough of Divinity Original Sin before I started playing the Enhanced Edition, yeah, it automatically critical, and yeah, and now I'm dead. But that's fine. We have like 7 scrolls of Revivify because they
witness the might of the blade.
And then mostly I'm dead because I didn't understand the mechanics of the game itself. But they don't pity you there, and which is what I was about to say is that it reminded me a lot of old school D&D, playing way back in the olden times in Advanced and 2nd edition. It was very, if you don't know the rules and it gets you killed, fuck you. It was very get good mentality in those old days. And the first original sin, that was exactly the feel of it. And I remember I got so frustrated. I was like, I hate this game. I'm never coming back to it. I'm never playing it again. And I got quite a ways. No, I actually did stop. And then I started playing the Enhanced Edition. When I got the Enhanced Edition, I was like, actually, this is really cool. And I think the Enhanced Edition hit a sweet spot there. And 2 is probably even a little better. But I feel like it's weird how long a way to go there is, and about how many things I feel like we're already done better. But I'm not sure how we're handling the action economy here. I like this extra stuff too, like the bash and every weapon has a special doodah, which strikes me as being an MMO thing. But I also don't like I don't understand it. I can't master it. I know more or less how it should work in 5th edition. I don't know necessarily how it should work in the video game. I mean, it worked. Alright, hopefully I have your attention. I should probably have healed, or, actually, what's the range of Revivify? I don't know. I just assumed I was going to have the fighter do it, and I was like, this is actually the cleric, your job is healing. Ha, you suck. Okay, you, revivify me. Thank you. Alright, and, that was your standard. The bonus you don't necessarily have would only be second wind, because I accidentally drank that potion. So, we're basically done, I guess. It's a very 5th edition problem to have. Is suddenly it's like, well, I mean, I feel like there should be more, but I guess my turn's just over. Whereas the summoner, it fucking takes 15 fucking... Never mind. I got a summoner in my game, and the Lamp edition doesn't have nearly as much leeway for letting shit like that grind the game down as 5th edition does, and he's still kind of a pain in the ass. Ah! I didn't actually expect that to hit. That's a long way. Okay.
That was the last of them! Inside! All of you! More may follow!
Open
the gate!
I might go back to a save and redo this, because I just wanted to go through this to show you what happened. But I'm save scumming that battle, because it was bullshit, and the jump spell didn't work and everything. But hopefully you see what I'm bitching about, and it makes sense. I know that there's a long way to go yet, but again, and I can't stress this enough, I feel like it's really weird how some of the problems I have with this game are things Larian Studios solved a long time ago. I don't understand how they're problems now. I feel like the inventory is a disaster. Where are the sort buttons and everything? The sorting mechanics for the Enhanced Edition of Divinity Original Sin are badass. They're awesome. Anybody that's not singing their praises is an idiot. Why aren't they in this game? Is it just because they haven't been implemented yet? That's as maybe, you know. I don't know. It's sort of, There was something else, too. There was something else. What was it that I thought I needed to talk about? Something to do with containers. Anyway, probably doesn't matter. Hopefully I've made my point.